I'm gonna go out on what I don't feel was really that big of a limb and say that the racing in Sao Paulo for F1 for the sprint and the Grand Prix were good races. They did their job. It was the best sprint race of the season. There's a lot of stupid going on in it between teammates and stuff, which I just don't get how there's so much, especially in F1, because they're really up on all that. Yeah, team orders, all that stuff. Clear as day on the radio. People just move over it. Like there's a lot of that which I don't like, and I see a lot of people, don't like, and I fully understand why they don't like because it's like not racing anymore. Just get the hell out of his way and let him get the spot. But a lot of good stuff came out of the weekend. Even with that, people showed their true colors. We got to see some firsts. Mercedes actually look what they did this weekend. That was a good weekend. And again, a lot of stupid stuff. A lot. Did some shorts on some of it over on the YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out. But it was a really, I enjoyed, the weekend what I got to see, minus the headache from Hulu, is I can go and click on the sprint race and it just doesn't do anything. So thanks for that one, guys. But I did get to watch it finally Sunday. I did get to see qualifying and everything that happened there. I got to watch the race. It was overall very enjoyable weekend, and I got to go see Adam Sandler last night with everything that entailed, which was pretty outstanding. But qualifying, Kevin Magnussen got his first career pole and the first ever pole for HAAS F1 as well. So that was really exciting when George Russell, beached it and he saved it, but he spun back around, got himself dug in, and the weather rolled in. And that was that. Regardless of how he got it, he still went out there and did that before like the crazy weather came. He went out there, jumped out as quick as he could, first one out there, and did a hell of a job. Like he looked good, and I was very happy to see that, even though I believe his teammate Mick Schumacher was dead last, which isn't good in my opinion. But regardless of that, who cares? Kevin Magnussen, first career F1 pole. Haas F1, first F1 pole. So two firsts right there, one caboodle again. Who knows what would have happened? George Russell didn't beach it, but he did. And got them that with Max Verstappen was second, George Russell third, Valtteri Bottas 18th, which was a surprise to me just being there. And again, Mick Schumacher 20th. Now the sprint race on Saturday, that was good. Like I think there was 27 or 37 passes in the 24 laps. I mean, normally there's some F1 races where it's just literally follow the leader. So that was really good. See George Russell get the win was really good just because of how where Mercedes has been against the Red Bulls and the Ferraris a lot of the season because they haven't looked good. They've been there, but they haven't been able to even compete for wins. So that was really cool to see. Sainz was second, Lewis third, Max fourth, Checo fifth, Charles Leclerc sixth, Lando seventh, and Kevin Magnussen eighth. And it went from 8 points for the win for George Russell all the way down to one for Kevin Magnussen in eighth. And again, look where they've been all year. Which is why, they finally got some points and all that after a long break. But to see them do that. And there's a lot of other things that happened during the race. A lot of teammate stuff. Again, Esteban Ocon and Alonso with issues. And if you've seen Fernando Alonso, thank God, one more race and it's over because him and Ocon just don't get along. I don't think he can wait any longer to be rid of that whole entire situation and conversation. Lance Stroll drove his teammate Sebastian Vettel off track at one point, which is just ridiculous. Mick got up to 12th though, drive of the day there, jumped 8 spots, a lot of passes and overtakes, and he looked really good. It's just he's just so hit and miss. I don't understand how he I get it. Everyone gets the teams are all improving still, but I think he's very very hit and miss. But that race with all issues with teammates there, it reminded me a lot of I believe it was Road America in the Xfinity series. We just saw them just keep taking each other out. It's not good look. It's not normal for them either to be doing that. They're normally better than that. They normally are. A lot of weirdness there, but again, we had 27 or 37. I don't remember. I know it was one of those overtakes. In a 24 lap race. Again, we've watched some even recent races where there wasn't that many, like the whole entire race. So that was really, really good. And it didn't let off there. The actual Brazilian GP, lots of passing, people moving all over the place. George Russell was on pole, Lewis second, because Carlos Sainz got a 5-spot grid penalty. I believe it was for a power unit. I believe Don't quote me on that, but Bell put both of them on the front row. Max was right there though, and I always say I'll put money on him till I don't have to, till I can't, and he didn't look good this weekend. But again, look what happened last time he looked human and he came out and slaughtered everyone the next weekend. So anything's possible. It sucks to see Daniel Ricciardo take out Kevin Magnussen for Kevin Magnussen, unlike in like turn 6 on lap 1 or something, ruined both of their days. I think that the 3-spot penalty in Abu Dhabi for Daniel Ricciardo to end his run with McLaren, I'll say 3 is fair because that was just a dumb bonehead move. Took him out. Didn't need to see it happen. Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen get into each other. What else is new? They give Max a 5-second penalty, forced in the pits before they could do anything, changed out a wing, did all of that. They had to change out the wing obviously before it, and they did it really fast on top of it. But 5-second penalty did put him back. After all, that didn't make a difference at the end. But still, we got to see Max, all the way back up to 6 by the end. I mean, had to go in lap 1 contact, had to change your nose, then he had to go in pits and get a 5-second penalty just sitting there. And he still drove all the way up to 6th. Just what he's been doing all year, ladies and gentlemen. It's just he's been in another world. He's been better than pretty much everybody, to include his own teammates. So that was there. I mean, he didn't listen to team orders, and to let Checo back confirm because of the points thing. I'll get into that. That's kind of I'd be pissed after all the times he's literally done things to help Max out. Since last year. I mean, that'd be really let him by. You don't need the 2 points. Didn't let him by. Didn't get the 2 points. So that could come back to bite them all together. But again, big moment of the weekend. We got to see, for me, HAAS F1 got their first pole, their first lap sled. Kevin Magnussen got his first pole. George Russell got his first career win in F1. Mercedes got their first win of the season after the year that they've had. And Lewis Hamilton, teammate, multiple time champion, was there right behind him in it. You couldn't get anything better than that if you were them. So congratulations to Mercedes. It's been a long run. And if you've been watching F1 or just listening to me, you've heard me say some pretty terrible things about them. It was good to see them be the cars to beat. And who knows what would have happened. I think George was faster overall for the weekend. He really was on Sunday. I just think he had the better car between him and Lewis, and who knows what would have happened if the contact between Max and Lewis didn't happen and Lewis didn't drop back so many spots right there when that happened. I don't think it would have made a difference. I think George was just better. I mean, he drove away from him. So, and Lewis again burned out his tires quicker, trying to catch him, but he only got one more chance to get a win after that one. I mean, you got to go for it when you haven't had that good opportunities. But congratulations to them on getting that. Carlos Sainz 3rd, Charles Leclerc got a 4th, so a good day for the Ferraris. Fernando Alonso got a 5th, Max Verstappen 6th, teammate Checo Perez 7th, Esteban Ocon 8th, Valtteri Bottas 9th, and Lance Stroll got a 10th. Sebastian Vettel was right behind his teammate Lance Stroll in 11th. And again, coming down to the points and everything coming into the last race of the season, which is coming up in Abu Dhabi, Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez are now tied for second at 290 points. So those 2 points would have had him 2 points above Char going into the last race. So who knows, how that's going to end up. Those 2 points come back to be a lot, or they could be absolutely nothing. But I mean, when you already locked up the championship forever ago, most points in anyone, most wins ever in a season, just listen to the damn team and let them buy, because that, finishing 1-2 in the points would be a fantastic thing just after the year they had. But Lewis is now 5th with 240 points. Carlos Sainz 6th at 234. And George Russell is in 4th in between them at 265 points. So he's got a 25-point buffer above and below. So it would take a perfect race from, let's say, I'm going to go with Charles Leclerc on, now to get by Sergio Perez next weekend. It would take a really perfect, I mean, for the points lead, that would take a good run, a perfect race, because I think the Red Bulls are just going to be really good next weekend. I think they figured out the consistency more. But I mean, you could also see Carlos Sainz or Lewis Hamilton go out there and have a really good run, and they can make up 25 points. They have to dominate everything, but it is possible mathematically. Really, I just think it's gonna. Yeah, I think he's safe fourth though, and the battle will be between for second and third, and then fifth and sixth. Only time will tell. And there's only 19 points between Ferrari and second, Mercedes and third for the constructors championship. Because again, Red Bull's been more consistent here in the back, yeah, 3 quarters of the season. And when Ferrari hasn't been, we've seen a lot of problems with them. So yeah, that's what that all came down to. I don't think they're going to catch him personally. I think everyone's going to go out there with their best stuff. Granted, all it takes is one failure, and that can make a giant difference. We'll see. I just think Max is going to go out there and finish it off just because of how he ran there. The last time he looked human, he went out the next race and proved that he was not human this year. So only time will tell, but I have great faith that it's going to be a good race. And again, it was probably the best F1 weekend overall, just racing wise and everything else to get to watch. So, yeah, a lot of takeaways from it, though. I think Max showed his colors by not moving over and letting Sergio ahead of him just because of the points. Doesn't mean you got the championship locked up. You have everything locked up. If you've had it for races, move over and help him out. And he didn't, which, those 2 points could be a really big thing. So we'll see if that has to do with anything. Granted, do we want people moving over? No, in all those team orders, but it's a big thing in F1. And if you're trying to get first and second in the championship, that's not how you're going to do it. And you have to be a good teammate in those situations. Again, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to like it because I don't, but it would have been the right thing to do. Great to see Kevin Magnussen get himself in Haas the first pole and the laps led for Haas first ever. Even if it wasn't a sprint race, it still happened. There was two laps there where he looked really good. And then, well, Max was Max. So we'll see how, everything goes in the last week. I don't expect to see them do it again, but if they can keep slowly improving, I mean, Haas, you just need to get them both consistent. I don't know what's going on, but they don't have it. The Daniel Ricciardo thing with Kevin Magnussen was dumb. It didn't need to happen. 3 grid spot makes sense. Max and Lewis, see what else is, between those two going into the last thing. Because again, Lewis looked better than Max for most of the race, but again, look at the issue that they had right away. Max had to replace, the front wing, more damage that could have caused, some stupid to happen there. So we got to see what's going on there, just because you never know what's going to happen. So we got to figure that one out. Again, I think they'll just move on and carry on, but we shall see because they've had run-ins in the past. So I don't know. And yeah, that win for Mercedes, them getting 1-2, George being the dominant car for the weekend, him getting, from beach during qualifying, it's got Kevin Magnussen the pole to winning the sprint and winning the Grand Prix easily was a giant step for them for where they started and everything they've been through this year, because there were some races where they were absolutely junk and we all know it. So that was a really good thing to see. But don't forget, follow along YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Season's almost coming to an end, which means this show is going to be done soon. So subscribe there, share it out to the people. Let me know what you think. And until we meet again, my friends, peace.